Hello, this is the third talk in my series of theological discussions. Thank you so much for joining me yet again. The title of this talk is We Must Respond to God Regardless of the Twists and the Turns. It's very much similar to the talk that I just made, the second talk in the series, the one prior to this one. But there is a twist in this, as the title infers. We must respond to God regardless of the twists and the turns. Life presents us with many different things, many different encounters. We encounter many different things each day, each week, each month of our lives. Sometimes it can seem that we are like a boat on the ocean, a boat that is victim to the rough seas, and we go this way and we go that way, to and fro, as the ocean bashes at our bow, at our stern. Sometimes the waves are so high they crash and they break, and we are fearful that this boat that we are on shall come to an end. Yes, sometimes life can be like this. Other times life is far from this. Other times life is joyful and pleasant, exciting. Many things are happening. We don't have a fear in the world. We don't have a care in the world. Everything is going the way that we would like it to go. We can see the future before our eyes. We can actually make plans for the future. We can envisage the future. We can do particular things in our daily lives, and we can gear ourselves towards a destiny of our own choosing. And everything is great. Everything is fine. We must respond to God regardless of the twists and the turns. Now, basically, this talk is about how, regardless of the ups and the downs that life presents to us, we have to make this daily response to God. As Christians, we have to continue those things that make us Christians, that identify us as Christians. In the previous talk, I was talking about going to church on Sunday, about daily prayer, about having a yearly retreat, about being involved in charities, giving of our time and our talent for the poor, to express our Christianity, to make our Christianity real, that we be witnesses to the faith, that we not only believe, but that we express our faith in actions, so the whole world may know that Jesus Christ is Lord, that the whole world may know that Jesus Christ is risen, and they can see Jesus Christ risen in the actions of each and every one of us. Each and every one of us becomes, if you like, another Christ when we respond to God, when we make this daily response to God. Everyone can see Christ at work in our lives. Christ becomes very much amongst us, a part of our community. Yes, it's very important that we continue these things, that we have our daily prayer, that we go to church and we participate in our church community, that we do the things that we do as Christians, that we make our response on a daily basis. When we look at the corporate world, for example, look at the big banks, for example, and we think about what are the things that keeps these multi-billion-dollar corporations going, we only have to think that it's consistency and order and regimentality that keeps large corporations going. It's audits and spreadsheets and budgets and it's all of the various departments that make a large corporation. That actually, yes, it's all of these various departments of a large corporation working very hard for the corporation that keeps the corporation going and functioning and existing and prospering. Yes, that's the same for us. As Christians, we have to have things in our lives on a daily basis. We have to do these things in our lives on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly basis to keep our corporation, if you like, our corporate body, if you like, going, existing, prospering. Because if we give up prayer, if we give up going to church, if we give up almsgiving, if we give up charity works, if we give up all of these good deeds, and if we simply do nothing, our corporation shall slowly but surely cease to exist. Our identity as a Christian shall slowly, surely, eventually cease to exist. Now, the great thing about having these things within our lives on a daily, on a weekly, on a monthly basis, this daily prayer, this going to church on a Sunday, this almsgiving, this working for a charitable organisation, volunteering of our time. The great thing about this is that when we respond to God this way, as I opened with at the beginning of this talk, talking about that boat upon the ocean, the rough seas, the great thing about when we respond to God this way is that when we are going through a hard time, when we are experiencing a hard time, we are going through a hard time and we are experiencing a hard time, but we believe that Christ is there with us during this hard time, during this hard experience. And so we are on this boat out in the ocean and we are fearful, for the water is breaking very heavily upon our bow, upon our stern, and we are very fearful. We fear that the boat shall sink and that we shall drown and we shall be no more. But we have Christ with us during this event, during this rough sea, during this rough ocean. We have Christ with us. Christ is there with us during the rough sea, during this rough event. And that is what makes all the difference, because Christ is with us during the storm.